Hi, everybody. On a Tuesday, day three of our extreme heat warning from the Weather Service for temperatures in the upper 90s to potentially reaching 100 degrees. This is up. If you look at the map, this hasn't changed. This extreme heat warning is up this kind of pink magenta color from about Forest Grove through Salem, Portland, into Clark County, and then it stops. It does extend out through the gorge, extends down to Central Oregon. Again, these are all areas where the Weather Service is saying upper 90s are likely and 100-degree temperatures are possible. The orange, which includes Kelso Longview and parts of the Coast Range, a heat advisory for temperatures generally in the low 90s or no hotter than like 94 or 95. So none of that's changed. There is a red flag warning today, and I'll talk more about that coming up in a moment. And the next talker is that we're going from being really hot for 3 days in a row to having rain. All models like measurable rainfall on Friday and Saturday in our area, and we'll get more into these rain potential numbers coming up as well. All I want you to get from this right now is that the heaviest rain, the most widespread rain will be up in Washington, but models really like rainfall down through Portland and Salem as well. Wow. Okay. So what have we done? Well, so far the temperatures have been within a degree or two the same each and every day going back to Sunday. Again, this little heat wave, Sunday, Monday, and today. First time Portland has had 3 days in a row of 90 plus degree temperatures. Salem hit 101 on Sunday, 102 yesterday. You're actually the hot spot of the Willamette Valley. McMinnville, 101 back on Monday. Troutdale hit 100 on Sunday and again yesterday. PDX, interestingly enough, which has matched my forecast, by the way, 99 degrees on Sunday, 99 degrees on Monday, and I have us just being a degree or two shy of that today. Hillsboro, 98. Astoria, back-to-back days in the low 80s. The coast will start to cool off today. So again, so far the hottest of the main reporting sites in the valley has been Salem at 102. While Salem could hit 100 today, I think it makes sense that you folks will hold just shy of 100 degrees. Here's that warning map. I just wanted to point out the red flag, which is this brighter color. This is Central Oregon for high fire danger. It certainly makes sense that with the heat and the drying, that there's high fire danger. So especially any machinery being used out in dry, grassy fields, any spark being thrown could easily ignite and rapidly spread into a brush or grass fire. So FYI, high caution on that. All right. All of this brought to you by the Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify for a variety of investment topics. The company, Momentous Wealth Management, locally licensed in Oregon and Washington, dropped a couple of new podcasts, I think, last week. So check those out. Okay. Let's get you going. Here's where we are right now. It's coming up on 10 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Low clouds on the visible satellite picture up and down the coast. Some of the modeling here at KGW TV has suggested that fog might linger around Uquinta Bay or Newport, but the north coast probably gets sunshine today with the clouds backing off. You can see how clear it is inland areas. And if I go down here and just look at the flow pattern, there's that 594 high. This high was stronger the last couple days and closer to the West Coast. You can see it weakens and pushes out a little bit. So again, we're still going to be hot today. Most areas a degree or two cooler. But as the high pressure starts to retreat, this is the final day of the heat wave. And then we'll get into some cooler weather and eventually into some rain. It's going to be quite the significant turnaround. Here's what the National Blended Model from the Weather Service shows for this afternoon. This shows Portland back up to 98, generally speaking, 94 Kelso Longview, low 90s to upper 80s up around Seattle, shows 94 down there in Olympia, 104 down in Medford, 70s in Tillamook County and also up around Astoria. 100-degree temperatures, the Dows over into the Columbia Basin. The Dows, by the way, hit 105 yesterday. Now, today's it. Take a look at what we do tomorrow. The heat wave will be over tomorrow. This shows, whoa, what I do? I'm sorry. Let me click. All right, here's tomorrow's highs. I've got Portland at 83 tomorrow. This shows 83, 84, 85 in the metro, 87 down in Salem, 92 degrees when you get down south of Lane County. And then you've got 100 degrees down in Medford. And instead of 100s, it's in the 90s in the Columbia Basin. So everybody cools off tomorrow as the heat wave ends and all warnings will be canceled. Here's Thursday. The cooling continues. We've got maybe upper 70s around Portland, 81 in Salem, 70s up in Seattle, Tacoma, and Olympia. It looks like there's a weak push of low cloudiness that comes up the Columbia River, potentially in Portland tomorrow, then more widespread low cloud cover on Thursdays. We just continue to push into a maritime flow and get completely out of the hot weather flow. Here's Friday, a day I'm going to show you rain in a moment. But because of rain, this shows low 70s to mid 70s at most in the valley, in the Willamette Valley in Portland. Here's Saturday, which I think this could be too high because more rain is coming. Probably doing well to be up in the 70s. Right now, I've got Sunday mainly dry, although I'm looking at that. That forecast could change. This shows potentially getting back up to around 80 in Salem, 60s at the coast. Nobody's hot statewide. So again, full confidence that on this Tuesday, this will be the finale of the hot weather. So here's the weather flow pattern. We're going to get into the rain setup. So this is Thursday. You see a low up here. I wrote down my notes because so Thursday right here, the contour flow pattern at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, the pressure height for Portland is 578. Remember, as a forecaster, when you're looking at not convective scattered thunderstorms, but when you're looking at weather systems coming in off the Pacific, the 576 zonal contour is typically the dry line between wet to the north and dry to the south. So if you're right around 576, you're kind of on the southern edge where measurable rainfall would typically be expected. So I do have there's a little trough line right here Thursday. I think that's a reinforcing shot of cooler weather coming in. Weather models show that Thursday night, rain moves into places like Astoria. Now here's Friday afternoon. I've still got the pressure height for Portland, more of a southwesterly flow at 579. This is the European model. There's that low up setting off north of Vancouver Island. So going by what I learned as a forecaster over the years, you could make the argument that the rain is mostly north of Portland on Friday, although weather models give us measurable rainfall. But I'm saying I think the models might be bringing rain too far south and delivering too much of it. It's only Tuesday. We're talking about a Friday, Saturday rain pattern. This is the first time we're really looking at it. The main surface front comes in Friday overnight into Saturday morning. Here's Saturday afternoon. Now, in the southwest flow pattern, I do show the contour right over Portland at 576. So now we're a better chance of getting wet with that upper level low still feeding kind of a moisture flow pattern into our area. And then look what happens Sunday, which the modeling had been showing is dry, but that low is still offshore. And Sunday, what have we got? Let me count real quick. Here is the 582, 570, 570. Yeah, that's under a 576 contour. So maybe Sunday has a scattered shower pattern as well. Now, here's what the models are showing in terms of output. This is the American GFS. This is that future radar product. This is Wednesday. We're all dry. This is Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. Here's the first wave of rain gathering offshore. Rain could be falling in Astoria before midnight, Thursday overnight. And then here's Friday morning. Again, look at my mouse. We're kind of right on the edge of rain being to our north and Oregon being dry with a reasonable chance of rain showers in Tillamook and Astoria. That's Friday morning at 5 a.m. Here's Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Now you got that front arriving. The moisture area orientates itself from more of a south to north with the front coming in. But again, most of the rain is north of the Columbia River with a chance mainly along the coast. So again, could Portland be dry Friday with the rain holding up to our north? It's at least a possibility. Now, this model does shove the rain farther south as we go Friday overnight into Saturday morning, well down into Oregon. Again, I've got the pressure height Saturday 5 p.m. at 576. Here's Friday. So again, let me back this up. So if this is correct, there might be some rain in Portland on Friday, but it might not be much. Or maybe we stay dry. But then Friday night into Saturday morning, the front comes through, rain comes through, and then it's definitely scattered. This would show decreasing scattered showers during the day. And then here's Sunday with what I think still has at least a shower chance. Now, this keeps Portland dry, but look, it's got scattered showers out east. It's got some rain up in Washington. So you would think there's got to at least be the chance here locally. That was a GFS model. Here's the European model for rain amount. These are rain totals. Let me play this Thursday. I think we're dry. But here is Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. See, this shows some rain just coming into Portland, but is this rain area too far south? Again, if you have plans right now for Portland, Salem, realize there could be some rain Friday, but realize also that the rain might be farther north than what some of the model animations are showing. Now, let's see. This definitely increases rain. Well, let me back this up. I wanted to see what this showed Friday. This is Friday at 5 p.m. So we're looking to see, is there an increase of rain Friday overnight and Saturday morning? Yes. Same as the American GFS model. Heaviest rain are the bright colors up in Washington and the North Coast. Here's Saturday afternoon. Get heaviest rain up north, but a rain chance in the valley. This shows a half of an inch of 2-day rain totals in Portland. Right now, when I look at all, if you just look at the data and you don't say, well, is it going to rain? Is it not? Is the rain going to be too far north? Is the rain going to be too far south? If you just look at moisture output for Portland and Salem and Vancouver, you come up with a 2-day rain total of at least a quarter of an inch to maybe a half of an inch of rain, which would be an absolute big August soak. Remember, we've already had over 4/10 of an inch of rainfall this month. So that would be kind of unusual, right? So we'll see. This does, no, it keeps, this is Sunday, keeps Portland dry. So I think ultimately just know I am watching at least a scattered shower threat on Sunday. Here's the wind. Let's see what the wind is doing. I know a lot of you really enjoy when I show you the wind. So here's this afternoon, not much of any wind. This is a west wind of about 15 out in the gorge. The coast hasn't had much wind either. Here's tomorrow morning, not much wind anywhere. Here's Wednesday afternoon. Now we're seeing winds pick up in the gorge. This is the cooling influence of the west wind starting to sweep in through the gorge, and the gorge is now bouncing up to 10 to 20 miles per hour as we cool down on Wednesday. Here's Thursday afternoon, again, 10 to 20 in the gorge, but overall not much wind. Here's Friday. Now you got winds picking up a little bit, maybe some gusts to 25 along the north coast, but even into Saturday, there's not much wind. What does that tell you? Well, in part, it tells you that that weather front coming in that has some rain with it isn't very strong. And that would fuel the argument that maybe this rain is mostly north of the Columbia River. And maybe the models this far out are way overdoing rain in Oregon. We'll see. Again, it's only Tuesday. We got several days to follow this. For now, let's go around the horn. These are, well, let me refresh this. This will give us 10 o'clock temperatures this morning. All right, 81 in Medford, 105 today, 100 Wednesday. So the hottest weather, even in Medford, is today. Wednesday, still 100, which is not unusual. By Thursday, you have a nice cool down to 90 and then 87 on Friday. So cooler weather is coming, but a little delayed down in Central Oregon. Ben, near 100 today. All heat warnings will be dropped for tomorrow. You only get up to, I say, only 93. Still hot, but not hot enough for a warning. And then only down into the 80s on Thursday. There's that chance of some scattered moisture in Central Oregon this coming weekend on Saturday and on Sunday. All right, out in Pendleton, 100 today. All heat warnings will be dropped tomorrow, 94, 85 Thursday, chance of scattered showers on Saturday. Okay, let's go up to Seattle. 89 today, heat advisory in play. No advisory tomorrow to be gone, only 76. There's likely rain in Western Washington on Friday, and I feel like likely showers on Saturday and a scattered shower chance on Sunday. That's up in Seattle, where it really could be quite wet. Same for Tacoma, same for Olympia. Any areas really north of Clark County. Here's Salem, 99 today after hitting 100. It was 101 Sunday. It was 102 yesterday. I do like this, 99 today. And then 88 tomorrow. All warnings will be dropped. 81 Thursday. Chance of rain on Friday into Saturday. Okay. All right. Astoria, there's the rain chances on Thursday, Friday, Saturday into Sunday. 76 today after being in the 80s the last couple of days. This is Seaside, pardon me. But Seaside and Astoria have both been in the 80s the last couple of days, so cooling down today. And then North Bend, not as warm, 68 today. Then you get into some rain chances on Friday and Saturday. All right, my Portland 7-day. I've got us at 98 today and thinking after being 99 the last 2 days, we will not be any warmer than 98. We may only be 96, 97. We'll see. And then 83 tomorrow, early clouds in the North Valley, including Portland and Vancouver. Morning clouds more dominant across the area on Thursday, holding us in the 70s. The shower chance on Friday. Maybe we stay dry. There's that push Friday overnight and Saturday morning. Could Saturday afternoon be mainly dry, or will there just be a few scattered showers be more noticeable? Not sure yet. Will Sunday be dry, or will there be at least a shower threat? Not sure yet. Then back up to 80 on Monday. Brought to you by Hazeldale Tire Pros off of I-5 here on the in Clark County. All right. That's your update. I'm Rod Hill. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps me out. You'll be notified when I post, and I will talk to you soon.